All right, guys, welcome. So we are watching State of Play. We're going to see, this came out not too long ago. I didn't know immediately when it had happened, when it was coming out. Anyways, we're going to be watching this. And of course, we know, we know this is going to be very woke, but PlayStation, Xbox, bro, these freaking companies, they're gone. They're done. They're freaking done, bro. They're not what they used to be. They're not making games like they used to. Everything is so heavily feminist, gynocentric. Nowadays, we are completely inundated with leftist politics and absolutely everything. It is in every facet of your life. It's in every facet of all these institutions, all these different systems, all of your favorite, let's say, media formats, right? Because we look at books, and books, man, they've been woke for a long time. A bunch of crappy feminist authors freaking flushed out freaking book reading with a bunch of crappy feminist novels, right? Crappy romance novel, crappy now fantasy novels. And yeah, now they're the bestsellers, let's face it. Women have dominated the book industry, and that's a whole other conversation. Obviously, they've just completely corroded it, and they have suffocated what that industry used to be. Because, right, what is the greatest, the absolute greatest works of fiction? It's overwhelmingly male. And really, like, you get reading on some of the female authors that kind of made their own impacts too. They respected men, and ultimately they knew men had a superior performance to themselves. But now we're at this point where these industries are being corroded. And by the way, of course, yes, the other thing about all these industries, if you know anything about it, because this is going on in television, this is going on in movies. Of course, I would say personally, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think I am, but first it was books, then it was television, and we all know that television got woke before movies, so most likely it was television. I don't see any reason to say it was not. And then it was movies. Of course, movies got massively woke within the last, let's just say, it's been a while now, let's just face it, but it's gotten massively woke within the last around 10, 12-ish years, whatever, 15 years maybe. Then you look at gaming, and now gaming, oh my gosh, it's gone massively woke for a while now, and a lot of people have not been paying attention. I don't understand how this happened, but no one's been paying attention to how woke gaming has gotten for a long time, because gaming got woke. What was it? Pretty much around 2013. I mean, really, it was after Obama got his second term. That was when things started to get woke. Because remember Overwatch. Overwatch was proto-woke. Has all this diverse casting, all this right representation bullcrap, and you had a bunch of stuff going on during then. Of course, the whole Gamergate crap, that too. But right, a lot of wokeness was being pushed through in gaming that early on. But by the way, I will tell you this, the last great year of gaming was what? Which year was it? 2015. A bunch of things were great. Game trailers were still great, right? You had the Knights of the Old Republic, for instance. Their Sacrifice trailer is a terrific trailer. And of course, that was 2015 that came out. And then, of course, we can think about games, Metal Gear Solid 5, Final Fantasy 15. We can talk about games like Witcher 3. But it's not just these games. There's so many other ones. But games used to be good. It used to be exciting to pick up a game, and now it's not exciting anymore. Now you know what you're signing up for. If you pick up a game and buy it, you're picking up woke, ideological, dog water horse crap. So, and I'm going to just be honest with you, man. I'm angry. I'm angry about, and like, I'm angry to the point of just, at this point, I'm just tired. I'm tired of what's happened to gaming. I'm tired of what's happened to, of course, movies, right? But Star Wars, for instance, is long dead, but also just great storytelling is long dead. But again, we look at all these different industries, and it went books, then television. Golly, television got super gay very quick, right? For many years. I mean, basically, I would say in the 2000s and the 2010 era of, oh man, but definitely in the 2000s, there's a bunch of freaking gay crap in there. right? You can think of a bunch of freaking television shows like, I don't know, like 90210 and blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of freaking chick kind of oriented television, but television sucks. Then it was movies, and now it's gaming. And we lose one thing after another. And like, you want to know, and you want to understand what I'm so sick and tired of is how we, as men, we lose everything that we love. Books used to be great. Male authors were making good works, creative works. Now it's just a bunch of tropey bullcrap. And notice something that anytime women start to populate or kind of suffocate a genre or an industry, everything becomes tropey. Everything becomes copying other people's ideas, and we're only going to do an idea if someone else has proven it before. You don't have a lot of risk taking in an industry. You don't have a lot of trailblazers in an industry unless it has men. I mean, geez Louise, psychology, right, nowadays, that's turned into freaking horsewash. It used to be a bunch of men were in psychology. They were the trailblazers. Now what's happened to psychology? It's a bunch of rewashed horse crap from astrology, weirdo, freaking spiritualism, bull crap, your chakras, whatever. Bunch of made up, reused, rehashed, but completely diluted trash. The exact thing that happens with every industry that brings in women. Every single industry, it turns to absolute dog crap. We're seeing that now. This has happened to gaming. It's been happening for many years. But of course now it's just, wow, the nail is in the coffin. The hatchet is buried deep into the freaking skull. It is over, bro. It is freaking over. It's done, you know? Gaming is not what it used to be. Psychology is not what it used to be. Mother F, the freaking sciences are not what they used to be because now they're dominating those with females. And it's like, listen, man, women suck at their jobs. Men are better. Men, they actually get the job done. They actually do the proper work to not screw over an entire industry. Isn't it interesting the more industries that women pollute? Isn't it interesting that those industries start to lose a bunch of money? Isn't it interesting that the value starts to rapidly decay? Isn't that interesting? Have you not noticed this? This is why I'm sick and tired of this stuff. This is why I'm worn out with all this wokeness. But anyways, we're gonna be watching State of Play, of course. We're here, love of God. I know I'm gonna freaking get angry, bro. I know there's gonna be a bunch of woke dog crap. So anyways, let's just get right into it.
Hi everyone, I'm Asad Kizilbash, Head of Product at PlayStation Studios and Head of PlayStation Productions. I'm here to welcome...
Of course, by the way, it can't be a freaking... By the way, we're not going to do a lot of pausing, but of course it can't be a white guy anymore, right? Because too many white guys were making good money, too many white guys were CEOs, CFOs, blah, 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 managers, directors, just too many white guys. We need more colored people and more women to take these roles. What does that mean? Push white men out of these roles. Stop giving white men jobs and make them slaves to these businesses or whatever. That's what this is. Remember this. Liberalism is a war philosophy, and it directly benefits those of, well, right now, in modern age, of course, minority groups, or whoever the frick you want to think a minority group is, right? This is just a completely nebulous meaning, term, idea, whatever. But anyways, the kind of person that just finds themselves as, I am not the majority representation, so you need to start making me majority representation because ethics and morality. And of course, then what does this end up doing? Well, we know what this does. Freaking dog water horse crap. This is all made up. This is made up morality. What it does, it says, yeah, okay, oppressor class, the white dudes, enough with you. Get the frick out of here. You don't deserve jobs. You don't deserve well-paying jobs or well-paying incomes. You all should be poor, dirt poor, and all the whoever we declare as the minority, they should be uplifted and they should be the economically enlightened. So anyways, that's what you get here. One of the newest
members of the PlayStation Studios
I wonder why this guy got his job. I wonder
this team
why.
brings together some of the most talented developers in our industry, with an incredible pedigree in the online multiplayer space. We announced their first game, Concord, last year, and today they're revealing gameplay captured in-engine on PS5. But first, here's an extended vignette introducing some of the cool characters you'll find in the Concord Galaxy. Enjoy.
Yep. I think it's a tad loud. Oh my gosh. Okay, just a tad, okay? Oh my god. Of course, has to be a female. Of course. Nothing can just be male-centric anymore, of course.
Oh, jukebox.
This feels like generic, like Disney Star Wars. Like this is, by the way, Disney has no idea what the frick Star Wars is. If you look at anything that's Star Wars now, it's basically like a weird mashup of Marvel kind of related stuff. You'll notice that Star Wars also has these really generic now looks on alien races. Like it's just skin or face paint, but also skin paint on a freaking human person, and then we just do weird things with their hair. We put a weird like whatever Rocky kind of faux hawk wig on them, right? It's just making these really simplistic addendums and modifications. This is so painfully generic already. Bro, listen, I hate freaking modern day. I effing hate it. Jeez Louise.
It wasn't the plan.
It was a spontaneous creation.
Oh, look. Female mercenary. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and almost dying a bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying.
Being snarky. This is a huge thing about feminism, bro. Is being snarky. I'm sick and tired of women speaking down to men in these freaking products. I'm sick and tired of women thinking they're smarter than men. I'm sick and tired of this freaking snarky feminist archetype. It is old. It is tired. Okay? This is a freaking feminist girl boss right here. She fits the entire archetype. At what point? And by the way, there's going to be a video on this. What the frick is a man? You tell me what the frick a man is. Do we even believe in what a man is anymore these days? Do we even know what a man is? Do we care? Because you got a bunch of leftards. They don't care about what makes a man. What is a man? They want you to stop believing in masculinity. That's exactly what they want. That's a part of their agenda. They will stop at nothing until that is made entirely true. And of course, you have the whole thing that people sometimes ask, what is a woman? But I don't even know. I don't know how much people really care about that, because now we think that what makes a woman is what makes a man. So, again, what the frick do people believe about the gender roles? Absolutely nothing, and we know that. Okay, so anyways, almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. That could actually be true, but, that's really conditional.
It's the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
How much longer for the
Oh
upload?
my gosh, and this is so Marvel, bro. The freaking spunky humor, the freaking, these weird, senseless, meaningless jokes. Who was the guy that did the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy? I forget who he is on the spot for some reason. I'm blanking, but it doesn't matter. Bro, the freaking consequences of his humor has now been seeped into all of Marvel, Disney, now these game developers. Listen, these are trashy freaking archetypes. That dude, he did a good enough job with the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't watch it, by the way. I don't care. I watched the second one. I barely remember the film. Okay? Whatever. But they just try to copy Drax, Star-Lord, the green chick, who again is just a feminist archetype. Screw her, Gamora. Rocket Raccoon, love of God, that freaking, what was his name? Grease in Jedi Fallen Order. That guy, basically, he's a Rocket Raccoon freaking knockoff. Again, this is the thing with woke stuff, and these industries are polluted by women. Everything gets rehashed over and over and over. Someone finds something that works, rehash. The only thing I haven't seen really rehashed that much is Baby Yoda. That is the only thing. So anyways, let's keep going.
A few more minutes. Hey, start time.
Stop, child. Yo, bro, is this supposed to be for, like, is this Guardians of the Galaxy, man? Okay, try it with hot sauce.
Trust me.
Whatever, man.
Do not trust him.
So she's Gamora.
Where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then...
I cannot. Okay, listen, I don't want to be pausing that much. This is terrible. What the frick is this? Bro, this is how you write modern characters all the time. Always having to break the fourth wall, being way too self-referential, being way too self-aware. Oh my god, we're doing a bank heist, and you're just making these jokes, and it's stupid, and blah, blah, blah. Stop being so painfully self-aware. Live in the present moment. Stop pulling the audience out of immersion that, oh, clearly we're watching a trailer. Yes, we know we're here watching a trailer. Stop pulling me out of immersion. And that's what you're doing here. I cannot get wrapped up into this world because it's so painfully clear to me. The writers are speaking through these characters. Hi there, you're watching a trailer. Hi there, this is a video game scene. Hi there, my character that I wrote in this game is having a really bad joke right now in this current scene of the video game. Hi there, this thing that is blatantly happening on screen. You're too stupid to notice, so we have to tell you. Stop being so painfully self-aware. I hate modernity. Frick, this trash sucks.
That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we...
Right here, again, this is another part of modernity. This is another part of killing immersion, which is that apparently, it's not part of the plan. You were committing a crime, and then we're just in a diner. We're sitting around in a diner after committing a freaking crime. What? I mean, supposedly, they're supposed to be on the run, and they're just in a diner. So, again, this breaks your immersion. So these are characters who are doing things they're not supposed to be doing. The authorities are apparently after them, but they're just in public and no one cares. And they're even on the freaking TV or whatever the frick screen that is. What the, bro? Again, this constant erasure of immersion. No one takes immersion seriously anymore. Nobody does. And because of this, you will never have a functioning product that people take seriously.
Started with.
If we don't leave with this blue
Hamar. We will.
That's her name, Hamar. That's a female's name.
I'll be waiting outside.
Okay.
No one
What the
moves.
frick is this?
We'll be taking this off your hands.
What? This?
Funny.
Oh no, am I gonna get hit for copyright, bro? Oh, come on. Does that sound copyright? Oh my gosh. If I make it quiet, okay, do I still get hit? Oh gosh. Screw my life. Okay. Alright, screw it, bro. We'll just watch it. Love of God. And we're definitely gonna get hit by copyright, frickin' A. Again, this guy's basically Drax. We know what these... Oh my gosh. You people are so uninspired, and thank God we have a female in a man's role with a modern haircut. Again, the weakest generation of human history is what? This generation in human history, okay? The weakest people we've ever known, we've ever seen. These are the scrawniest mother effers than any past generation. They are these are adult children, and then they're the titular characters in these scenes. Get the frick out of here, man.
Slowed them down a little for you. Meet at the rendezvous point.
Wait, what? Where's the rendezvous? I didn't catch that.
Of course, there has to be a black chick. Right. Okay, it's a little bit loud. Of course there has to be a black chick, a freaking Asian chick, right? Because it's not enough that you have black men or Asian men. You have to get those diversity points. But now to max out on the oppressed, the victim scorecard, you've got to now have black women, Asian women. It's just not enough. We have to keep on going up in the tier list of victimhood. I hate this. I hate this so much.
Well played.
Fine. They only got one of my
Drax.
legs.
How are those
Okay,
hands?
Drax.
How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He gives a crap about her, and because she's too much of a girl boss, a boss babe, I am done, bro. I'm so fed up with this freaking feminism. Do you understand? This happens again and again. No one likes this. This is old and tired, and I don't care. You've got a bunch of cuck-servatives. They'll freaking suck off. They will jerk off, and they will freaking grab that freaking tip of the dildo, and they will freaking pump to freaking maximum speed because they don't give a freaking crap. They say, I don't know what the frick they believe in, but you have a bunch of cuck-servatives. They're like, oh, whatever, it's woke. Screw you, you mother effing cuck-servatives, man. You don't stand for anything. You say you're not freaking woke. You are woke. You love this freaking dog water horse crap. Screw yourselves. You freaking make it up. You make up what your freaking convictions are. You make up what your freaking beliefs are, and then you don't stand for any of it. Here we are again. How many products do we have that are woke, that keeps on pushing feminism, that keeps on pushing these boss babes that blatantly disrespect men? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And again, these are just women who think that being a man or being masculine, because that's all they want to be. They want to be masculine. There's no such thing as a man or a woman anymore. It's just androgyny, where we heighten a woman's significance somehow by making her more like a man, and then we're just making men out to be these pansies that we're leveling them down so that they are equal to women. What the frick is this dog water horse crap? And again, she's such a boss babe. She's such a man that she has to disrespect this guy when he's like, oh, are you her? And she's like, screw you, bro. Cool girls, right? They don't look at explosions, but they also just don't talk to men when men give a crap about whether or not they're injured. Get the frick out of here, man.
Lennox!
Got him.
Cuck-servatives everywhere. Cuck-servatives.
One off. This is you.
Freaking cuck-servatives. They love this stuff. They freaking grab on the freaking dildo and they go pump at max speed to the freaking nines. They don't give a freaking rat's trashing crap about any of this freaking wokeness. They've never given a crap, and they just suck this trash right up. Mother F.
I am developing a taste for destruction.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Humanizing in a humorous way a freaking robot. This is so painfully old and modern day. I am so sick and tired of modern products, bro.
Goodbye.
It's so generic. All of this is generic.
Would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Don't worry.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die. Bro, literally, Drax. At what point do people just start saying what the frick is happening here? No one has new ideas. These freaking hacks, the mother effers, I don't know who these freaking losers are. For how long have people sat there? And I'm so sick and tired of people just blatantly lying. How many people have sat there and said, for instance, liberals are more creative than conservatives? Even though this isn't true, by the way, even though there's plenty of conservatives who are very creative. We've said this for how many, and I don't even care about the whole argument. It's the fact that they have said that For how long? And we just see now, we are living during the age where literally liberals, like the fascists they are, they pushed out, they completely exterminated everyone that doesn't think like them out of all of these creative industries. And what are you seeing time and time again? Rehash, 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 rehash. Oh, hey, you know that idea that other guy did? Yeah, rehash again. Oh, hey, this other guy, he came up with a new idea. We're just going to rehash it. These are not creative people. They say they're creative. They say they're entitled to having absolute dominance of these industries. You are making trash products. Screw yourself. You suck and you don't deserve your jobs. Defund liberals. Defund these freaking industries. It's enough.
Nobody's dying dishonorably. And also, we're bringing this back with us. Hey, Mark. What are you doing?
Getting us to the rendezvous point.
Oh my gosh. You've got to be kidding me. Literally, this is another thing. See, I don't want to be pausing right now. It doesn't matter that much. I'm just saying for myself personally, I don't want to be pausing this much, but this starting out the showcase with this just highlights everything wrong today. Literally, she just did something. I cannot stand Diablo 4, the freaking feminism, the latent feminism in that product. You have a character named Narelle. This is an archetype of feminism. The girl that's too good for this world. And also the girl that you're sitting here, oh, what are you doing, Haim? Are you really quiet? What's going on? Because, right, obviously she's being super thoughtful in the moment. She's not talking. When Boss Babe isn't rattling off her annoying mouth, clearly she's thinking about a grand master plan. And then what's she do? She's like, it's over. And then she just lets go. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what Narelle does, by the way, in Diablo 4, where it's like, Narelle, what's going on? She's like, quiet for a moment. She's like, doing what the world needs me to do. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm so sick and tired of it. Okay. Female decision making, just letting go. What the frick is your plan? You're gonna plummet to death. But of course, because here's another rule. By the way, this happened in Diablo 4. Again, Diablo 4 just did a bunch of freaking feminist crap. It's a great hallmark for all the freaking nonsense, wokeness that we see with feminism and all the freaking things. Anyways, specifically feminism. And this happened in Diablo 4. Another rule. Can you guess what this rule is? Let's spend 3 seconds. Just take a wild guess. Do you know what another giant rule of feminism is in storytelling? Just take a wild guess. Okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to tell you. Resist death. For some reason, in feminism, especially in feminist writing, resist death is pretty much the number one rule. Well, besides all the other ones like disrespect men and also be a boss babe, all that other stuff. There's a bunch of other rules. Anyways, but pretty much the number one rule of feminism is resisting death. You're this woman that's too good for this world, but also like any plan you have, it's like a huge risk, but you're never going to die. And that's just a simple fact, okay? Number one rule of feminism, pretty much, well, not really, but kind of in some way. Anyways, is resisting death. Over and over and over again, one product to the other, and making stupid choices and decisions. And it's supposed to work out because it highlights the virtue of the female character, that she makes stupid decisions, and because she can resist death because feminism, it just works out, and she's a genius. Doing the thing. Basically, it's this idea that a woman's raging stupidity is somehow her God-given, secret, undiscovered talent. I'm an idiot. I'm a raging moron. I'm going to make all these stupid decisions, and we're not going to have to pay for the consequences. Somehow, it's going to work out. So she lets go of Drax's mother effing hand. They're plummeting to the freaking planet's surface. It's just going to work out.
Perhaps we should have let go also.
Because one off, do not dare. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just reading off the line for some reason. Anyways, though, again, a part of feminism, though, is being a secret genius. Again, resist death. secret genius. You know that whole thing? Some people have said, whatever the whole secret king thing is, right? I don't even know how much synergy there really is. I just thought of that for a second. But anyways, just secret genius. These feminists believe in this secret genius freaking complex where it's like, again, these women are raging morons, but it's like, let me make stupid decisions and I'm a secret genius. No one's figured it out yet. If you just do stupid things that no one thinks of in a certain scene that gets you killed, don't worry. Again, number one rule going on here for, you know what, I'm just going to say it. Number one rule of feminism is resist death. And then what follows after that is be a secret genius. And then a part of that is that things just work out.
Do not dare.
Well, we were supposed to stick together.
If you let go, I swear I will lean
Oh,
into
look, there they are.
Of course, right? How does she know? How does she? I don't know.
Avoided a dishonorable death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die.
Whatever.
Or something.
Whatever.
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
No, it just wasn't the one we started with.
Trailers used to actually be cool. Trailers used to not be freaking gay. Now they are. It used to be that a trailer, really, like, dude, go back, literally, my God. I mean, how far back can we go? Because I don't know. Maybe 2017 is the last year of good trailers, but like, if you go look at old showcases, it used to be that you would watch a lot of these trailers. You'd be hyped up. You'd be like, yo, this game's going to be cool. Then the game comes out and it's trash. But anyways, that's a whole other thing going on. But it doesn't matter. You used to watch trailers and you were pumped. You were like, this is going to be so cool. Now this is just lame, boring, freaking like female book narrative nonsense. What is interesting right now? We have a lot of freaking random like show pizzazz going on, showmanship pizzazz, but nothing's happening. Okay, they fall and then they just land, I guess, on a freaking spaceship that happens to be there. Whatever, man. I'm just tired of this.
All right, another satisfied customer.
Does this get you excited for the product? Are you excited for this? You're not.
Delivered. I sent everyone their cut.
Ooh, yeah.
So do you, like, carry it around with you for emergency?
Just go look at old showcases. They used to actually be exciting. They used to actually be cool. You used to get freaking hyped up. You'd be like, yo, I want to know what this freaking game is. What is it? You look it up. You'd be like, okay, I want to play that game. I don't care. I am so disinterested in this. And this has been happening lately with every single showcase. They just suck and they're all woke and they're all rehashed tropey nonsense.
Emergency bland situations or whatever?
Hey, Mara.
Snarky again.
Don't joke about something like this.
Our next job is somewhere with less
I have
scaffolding.
no scaffolding. Zero scaffolding. I promise.
Also, being painfully unfunny is another part of wokeness and feminism, by the way, because men are funnier than women. But another part of this is being painfully, on top of being painfully unfunny, is being painfully inoffensive. So pair on top of it, not being funny, being inoffensive, the characters are not saying anything of value, and you just don't care. And also, you don't have a reason to laugh. You're not like, say something offensive, please. Call her a slur. Call him a slur. Call each other slurs. I'm so sick and tired of this toxic, it's not even positivity, this toxic amicability, but also passive aggressiveness where it's like you always have to be snarky, you always have to talk back at each other because apparently that builds repertoire of some kind. What the frick is going on, man? Again, characters cannot just sit there and just blatantly say, you know, you're an idiot, but I also like you too. Let's go on a mission together, whatever, right? But of course, by the way, that is masculine writing, is to sit there and be blunt about what you think about someone, what you discern about that person, but then also just saying, all right, but let's just keep on doing stuff. Like whatever it is, our plan is, let's keep doing it, okay? We don't have masculine writing anymore. We have this toxic amicability, but that's not even the proper word for it because there's more going on here, right? The constant snarkiness, this unnecessary, I hate this form of joking that has pervaded modern day, where it's like somehow to display your togetherness with somebody, because they're not really friends, but okay, let's act like they have a friendship or whatever their intimacy level is, okay? To act like you have a relationship with someone, you have to constantly sit there and be a passive aggressive little snot head about everything. I hate this freaking dog crap. I'm sick of this freaking dog crap. It's old and tiring. This is not charisma. You know, people used to know how to communicate in a way where we didn't have to constantly demean each other. We always have to freaking sit there and make these snarky jokes, or always have to nip at the heels of someone else. It used to just be, hey, I'm going to share with you my mind, but then let's just get the job done, right? It used to be so much more productive in speech, how writing was and how people used to communicate outside of our freaking creative products. Now, all characters do, they always have to demean each other. Again, it's in this unfunny, inoffensive, liberal manner. Again, just go hang out with freaking autistic university students and you'll understand what I mean. Their social groups are autistic. It's people who aren't funny. They're completely inoffensive because you can't just call someone a slur, or you can't tell someone what you actually think about them for 2 seconds. You can't sit there and say, hey man, you're an idiot, and then just move on with your day and talk to them tomorrow or whatever. No, now everyone has to be offended if you actually say something real, but we all have to sit there and be passive aggressive. Let me make these jokes that they're supposed to intentionally say, or I intend to mean by them that I don't like you, but it's so vague and inconspicuous, you don't know if I dislike you truly or not. I hate this trash. I'm sick and tired of it. And at this point, I'm begging, call this mother effer a slur. Call each other slurs. I'm sick and tired of this toxic amicability. Get it out of freaking storytelling. I'm done.
We were apart for so long. I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
You sound ridiculous.
Another element of wokeness and liberalism is just not being interesting. You don't have charm, you don't have charisma, you don't have personality, you don't have the it factor. And you're trying to make these really painfully average people, you're trying to sell them like they have the it factor. Is this an interesting person? Or is this an annoying person? And of course, in their minds, there is no such thing as being annoying because they are annoying. So they have to live in their cognitive dissonance that me as a painfully annoying individual, somehow I have the it factor. Somehow I'm that individual. And by the way, I don't exactly like the term it factor, but it's a little bit deeper than that. But whatever. Anyways, regardless, let's just use it for replacement of a better word, okay? They don't have the it factor. They don't have the symbolism of a significant individual. They don't have it.
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter.
Of course, it's 5v5. How many 5v5 games are we going to get? Oh, 5v5 first-person shooter. Hey, guys, have you ever thought of like having a new idea? We have games, now it's dead, but Battlefield. We used to have games like Battlefield, right? You have 64 players in a freaking lobby. Then I thought they even got to a point, right? It was 64 versus 64. I think it was, 128 players. We used to get games like these. Somehow we can't move past 5v5. You can't make another. Again, used to have creativity in these products, in these games. Don't even get me started. Used to have games like Battleborn, games like Evolve, Gigantic. And yes, a lot of these games are, by the way, 5v5. Not all of them. It doesn't matter. They actually had new ideas behind what they were doing, right? Battleborn was like Overwatch plus a MOBA mashed together. It was cool. It was fun. I love that game, and it just, I don't know. It didn't get that far. It didn't get a lot of continued development, which really sucks, but
vibrant sci-fi.
Anyways, dude, can we not get new ideas? What's going on? You can't come up with like a 15 versus 15 player game? What are we doing here?
Universe of the Concord Galaxy. In Concord,
why do I care?
From the moment
you
log
have a
on,
crappy
you are
trailer.
part of the
Why do
crew
I
of the
care?
North Star, a group of guns for hire known in our galaxy as free gunners. Free gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars. They take high-stake jobs on worlds across wild space, where they face other fiercely competitive free gunner crews. Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
You say competitive, but you have women on the team. Hey, let's be very clear about this. Where women excel and where women succeed most is where men refuse to compete.
Court.
Free gunning. It's hard work, but it's our work, and we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Go listen to what women say when they work in any industry. Women will always talk about, there's entire freaking blogs. There's this like subgenre of blogs where women just complain about getting burnt out in the workforce. Okay. Acting like women, again, in this trailer here, that we're the hardest workers out here. Okay. Okay, bro. Okay. Well, forget it. Just forget it. No, forget it.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves. A chance to be someone.
All right.
Need a second to fix myself up.
Why not?
And in the wilds, it's anyone's game. You won't survive on your own.
Target blinded.
This game is like Destiny, kind of meets, okay, this is loud.
Endless rage!
It's like Destiny meets, what's that one game?
Lives every day to do the job.
Oh, shoot, what's that game, bro?
Time to show them the big guns. That's me.
This crew will go anywhere. Take any job. Face
Okay.
any.
Of course we have to have an obese, yeah, okay. We have competitive females and now we have obese operatives. Yeah, okay. Now we know we really are operating within reality here. Yeah, good luck, bro. Keep running for those donuts. You're gonna find it eventually, bro. Good freaking luck.
With the free gunner
He's running away from freaking losing weight. He's running away from his personal trainer out here.
crew of the North Star. And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
This reminds me of a game outside of Destiny, but it basically is Destiny. This is diversity and woke. And by the way, Destiny got woke, but I'm talking about like when Destiny was pretty much not really, it was kind of ambiguous. But anyways, this is just Destiny, but DEI. DEI Destiny. Even look at the guns. They kind of look like Destiny guns, if I'm being honest with you. Whatever, bro. Whatever.
The crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for game night?
Oh,
With
love of
Concord,
God.
We leaned on the strengths and background of our team to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great to play.
Yeah.
We focused a ton of our attention and our tech on building a strong gameplay
Is this
foundation with
reminding
tight
me
core
of
movement,
Halo 5
precise, visceral
Infinite?
shooting,
Or
and
whatever the frick it's
expressive
called. Halo 5 Guardians, right? That's what it's called.
Influenced a lot by fighting games and even strategy games, in the interesting way that the asymmetry of their characters makes every fight, every matchup feel really different.
Leaning into the asymmetry of the characters, really pushing the possibility space of two different characters colliding. It's all about creating opportunities for improvisation. That's where we can get out of the way and let players find their own magic. We also have abilities that are meant to have impact beyond direct combat. Deployable gear that can persist throughout a full game, so whether that's multiple rounds of a mode or multiple respawns across a match. There are healing pads, bullet blocking domes, explosive traps, lane blocking walls, all kinds of ways to support your team or disrupt your enemies. Coordinated teams can set up and plan ahead, and depending on where and when it happens, players can shift the battlefield to their advantage.
We've got everything from mystics and medics to
Oh,
gunslingers and
female
spark robots.
director, huh?
Every character brings their own unique
Yeah, wow.
personality,
Wow.
skills, and
It's
wide-ranging
almost like it's
perspectives to the crew.
possible.
Every week,
that they have a bunch of DEI hires. It looks like DEI hires. You're telling me these people, meet the qualifications. You're telling me they have all the talent necessary to make a really great product. Yeah. Go look at all the other woke products. Go look at all the freaking types of people that made those products and how they all lost money.
Hosting a pre-launch beta in July.
Go check out how they all lost money. Go check out the fact that this is all dog water horse crap. Go check out the fact that these people act like they meet the qualifications. I was saying this in a previous video. Which one was it? I think it was the Quarry review. I was saying this in a previous video, which is you apparently meet the qualifications. You passed through university. Sorry, you first got into university, which is pretty easy nowadays because they lowered all the standards to bring in women. Anyways, then you got through university. Then you showed up for a job interview. And then you qualified for one to even get there in the first place, apparently, right? And then you qualified to make it through the job interview. And now you qualify to make the game. But the truth is, we've been seeing many of these games come out. Diablo 4, freaking The Quarry, Love of God, and all the other super massive games that they've been making, the anthology series and blah, 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 how trash all of those are. But then you see freaking Sui Squad, Kill the Justice League. I don't know. Okay, forget it. I was about to... Doesn't matter. Anyway, you look at freaking Saints Row, what's happened to that? But just go down Wolfenstein again. There's a laundry list of games. Immortals of Avium. Okay, we're not gonna go through the whole freaking list, bro. The point is, you pass for the qualifications, but you make dog water horse crap. So you're telling me that you're this super qualified individual. These games are not good. These games are just freaking tropey, rehashed, rewashed bullcrap. Someone else made this before. You've been here before. Another issue with a bunch of these freaking libtards making these stories, making these games. You'll notice in a lot of modern games with their stories. You've been here before. You've seen this before. You've seen this movie scene before. And then they're just rehashing it for their video game. Hey, remember when this one guy had his great idea, let's say the first Joker film that recently, kind of recently that came out, or the Batman versus Superman. Oh, and remember there was that one scene that you really liked? Well, now we're just going to copy that in our products. Come buy our crap. Okay, how about you come up with your own crap? How about you come up with your own ideas? But this is the thing. Apparently these people, they qualify. Apparently they're great for making it through, getting the job, and then making these products and sharing their grand ideas, right? Freaking right? Then we get the product. And time after time after time again, this is all rehashed nonsense. Over and over.
Followed by Concord's global launch on August 23rd, 2024.
You passed many series of qualifications, and yet you cannot even perform for the job. You can't even get anybody to remember your product past 1 year or past like a couple of months. Or again, no one cares about what you made. Freaking Starfield, remember that? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, can't wait for this. Can't wait for it. Comes out. It's dog trash. And yes, listen, you've got a bunch of freaking losers out there. They literally want to play Starfield. Why do you want to play Starfield? It is a boring, trashy, ugly game. And you want to play it? I don't know what happened to these people. I don't know who the frick touched them. I don't know. But my question is, love of God, I really... Okay, just forget it. Anyways, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that, you know what, let me finish that thought. It's just, no, screw it, bro. I'm just, how? We say that you pass the qualifications, but you can't even make a product that anyone cares about. You can't make a good story. You don't make a good game. I wish there were a bunch of games that came out 10, 15 years ago. I wish they got continued. Budgets, development cycles, not this. This is the games coming out today. I don't want them continued. And I'm gonna just say it. Screw Fortnite, bro. Fortnite sucks. It's for brain dead morons. I don't know how it ever got popular. I don't care about it. I don't like it. Okay? It sucks. I don't know why anyone gives a freaking crap about it because there is no latent value behind it. And it just continued development for a crappy game that now has a bunch of freaking crappy rap music thrown into it, whatever. Anyways, screw that game. Love of God. Gaming is lame and gay now. Freaking hate this trash, bro. Yeah, great. Awesome. I look forward to it coming out. Is this just a... Alright, let's go forward a little bit.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you? A calm and reasonable person.
Yeah, I made a review on this. This game sucks. Screw it. Screw it. Screw it to the freaking 9 hells, to the 9 heavens, the 9 rivers, the 9 song dances, or the 9 freaking water streams inside the freaking canyon.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
By the way, this is a cuck. Kratos is an absolute cuck. They turned this guy, a masculine character, into a cuck. He's a cuck now. Don't forget he's a cuck. Sorry, let me remind you one more time, he's a cuck.
We haven't dared to consider.
We have guests! They're too fast! Look out!
I'm so done with gaming, bro. I'm so done. This is what's good. This is what we're celebrating now. This is what's super memorable.
Do what is necessary.
This is legendary gaming, bro. I'm clutching my moistened pearls right now. I freaking love this stuff. Bro, chills. Chills, I'm shaking right now. Yeah. I love this. I love this so much. What? Well, oh, what? It's coming on PC? Okay. Who cares? Screw freaking Ragnarok. Stupid game. Cock freaking story. What is this? What? That's supposed to be a dude, but it's a woman.
Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain. And the people must turn to thievery.
Dynasty Warriors? Wow, even Dynasty Warriors is getting in on the freaking DEI. Wow. That's crazy.
At the feet of the divine. But even so, someone must act.
Is this a dude or a woman? Big question. Wow. Oh wow. Okay, by the way, I love Dynasty Warrior games, but they have not been good and they never innovate. Okay. A nameless hero. Who, what? Is he a man or a boy, a girl? What is he? Should be a he, but they want to make it androgynous. Okay.
Momo, I think I was dreaming.
Female lead.
It wasn't a dream.
Again.
We were really transported to Mirrorland.
But whatever. This looks like something that should be a female-led game because it doesn't look like it's made for dudes. I don't think it is.
Ready.
I officially hate being here. I hate being here right now. Why am I here? Listen, bro, we're committed to this, okay? We gotta finish the freaking video, okay? Okay, it looks cutesy, whatever. This is not made for men. That's very true. Oh my gosh. Isn't it great? Isn't it grand that they completely infiltrated all the male franchises, intellectual properties, like God of War, for instance? Then here we are with this. Give me a sexy skin. Show her freaking boobs, by the way. Oh, God. But you know, we can't get anything that's just made for dudes anymore. I want something with raw masculinity. I'm tired of this. Oh, whoa. Wait, she had boobs. What's up, girl? Hey, what's going on?
Cute. I have seen the miracles you so claim. Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace.
Do any of these games have a white male lead?
Were inferior shades. Why do we have to bear the consequences of such powers?
I don't know.
War. Mortality.
Time, war, mortality. I'm just gonna say it, bro. Okay, listen. This has been going on for a long time. And we've been seeing this far too much in modern products. And I'm gonna be honest, you see this a lot in Japanese stuff. And I'm just noticing this time and time again. There's two ways you can go with this. And these are themes, by the way, that you see many times now in a lot of Japanese products or just Asian-based products in general, Korean, whatever, doesn't matter. You see this time and time again. And I'm getting really sick and tired of this. Listen, we don't have the Anglo-Saxon ideal in storytelling anymore. And I miss white people stuff. I miss white man stuff, okay? I'm sick and tired that we don't get great, grand, Anglo-Saxon-based storytelling. It is gone, it is dead, it is in the water, it's removed from our freaking cultural story, our cultural products, whatever. It's gone now, and like, I guess because being Asian is being a victim now, they're allowed to get their games. They're allowed to get their products where largely they just have a bunch of Asian people. That it's very frustrating that they get to have their homogeny, but white people, they don't. So anyways, I'm sick and tired, and what I'm about to say here, you see this in so many Japanese products, and I'm tired of it. I'm so done. And it follows these things. Time, war, mortality. You see them cover these themes over and over again. And there's a different way to cover this, but they are obsessed with it from this one perspective. Nihilism. They are obsessed. I mean, yeah, there's other things that like the West is obsessed with right now. A lot of it's just meandering nonsense, right? Feminism, this Guardians of the Galaxy humor and everything, right? Where you're breaking the fourth wall all the time. You don't take anything seriously. But Japanese products always cover, and I'm getting sick and tired of this. I mean, by the way, American products have this too. But I'm just seeing it in a lot of Japanese or just Asian products in general, is nihilism. Nihilism. It's in everything. Oh my gosh, nihilistic story here, nihilistic story there, but you know, just nihilist perspective all the time. And I'm so sick and tired of this. I am so worn down by nihilism, and I'm tired of it. It is not an ideal. I'm just going to say it. The being devoid, being destitute of God, the essence of God, is not a virtue. I am tired of this. Our stories are severely lacking God. And by the way, it's far more reasonable, far more logical to believe in a God than it is to not believe in a God. It's far more irrational to believe there is no God, especially in this freaking universe, than vice versa. Okay? Let's be very clear about this. I'm sick of this. Anyways, nihilism. I am so tired of nihilism. And let me tell you something. Time, war, mortality. You can go the nihilistic route with this, which plenty of modern day products do. Or you can go the traditionally Anglo-Saxon heroic lens with storytelling, which is what? Be a strong man. Gaze upon the fields of droves of the armies of your enemies. And of your armies, faced off against that grand foe. And that grand foe, you have trained long and hard to stand and rival them, and you live a life worthy of a glorious death. That this essence of time, war, mortality is not this thing that corrodes the world. It is a grand pursuit, a grand journey that you go on this grand path as a warrior amongst men with other fellow warriors amongst men. Because this is the thing that we do, and this is, by the way, propaganda. On the other side of all this, ultimately, you can go about it with any list of ideas, concepts, angles that you can take, but I don't care. We always love to do this nowadays, this anti-war freaking bullcrap, and I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? You have men who are built for war. You have men who want to pursue war because they were made for it. Their literal personalities are made for conflict, made for war. They have the soldier, the warrior archetype. These are men that you are stripping from them their existential function to the world if they are not warriors. I'm so sick and tired of this egalitarian, and also a part of it is the nihilistic, but also egalitarianism, nihilism, they have some symmetry with each other, but that's a different conversation. Anyways, and right now today, they're definitely running in the same circles, but you have to understand that nihilism, this is so old and tired, going about time, war, and mortality, right? From a nihilistic perspective, a nihilistic lens, also an egalitarian lens. I am done. I am done with this propaganda where it's like we always have to be morbid and always have to be dreary about, oh, war is bad, wrong, and evil. All it is. Oh, right, the decay of time and how everything you love and everything that's beautiful about the world is lost with time. But also everything that's beautiful comes with time. And by the way, a lot of things great can come with time, right? It's like, well, you can become a greater man, let's say in your 50s than you were in your 20s. That is something that can actually realistically happen, but we don't have stories like that anymore. You used to have grand stories where men, right, they're pursuing after greatness all across their life until they die. And they also love to go after, right, the idea of war. War is always bad. Oh my gosh, people get slaughtered, blah, blah, blah. But okay, there's also the other lens where you also claim your supremacy over the world. You also win against other groups, whoever they are, of rivaling beliefs, where you claim the world for your dominion. And then through that dominion that you claim, you get to make as much usage out of that dominion as you please. You get to erect civilization. You get to create technologies, or again, just grand artwork, grand architecture, whatever. By going to war, you get to claim yourself as the superior above the groups that you defeated. Anyways, there's other elements and angles that you can go about that as well. Not just that one angle, but that is one angle. There can be a greatness to war. There can be this splendor to war. But with this modern day propaganda by both nihilism and egalitarianism, we're selling this idea like it's all bad. Like everything's just left in ruin. No. Within the blaze of that chaos, or it's not even really chaos, it's a form of chaos, but it's not exactly chaos. There's other elements of it too. But there's a lot of opportunity that can also be found in war. But nowadays, right, oh my gosh, you're ethically compromised for saying that, or thinking that, or admitting that truth. And this is so old and tired, where we always have to demonize time, that with time, everything that is valuable is lost. Again, this is part of nihilism, that everything just loses value all the time, that there's no potential that is gained and then has a payoff in the end. No, there's no such idea. And then mortality, right? But let's finish the point on war. And again, just the whole concept that somehow war does not bear any fruit. That you never, for instance, free yourselves from an unscrupulous ally, let's say, or insalubrious, that word that I heard of recently. But right, this corrosive ally that you might have, and they are truly a villain to your civilization for whatever series of reasons, and you go to war against them. You're sick and tired of their schemes, their plans, whatever, and you're kind of in this weird, like, shackles of relationship with this ally. This ally pulls you into bad wars, or they do something to cripple your economy with certain trade agreements, whatever. And then the story is you go to war against them, you take over their lands, and you say no more with your crappy governance, your crappy this, crappy that. You could have a great story following war, but for some reason we can't have those heroic stories anymore. Anyway, then we get down to mortality. And the whole essence, right, of mortality, where you always have to fear your own death. You have to fear the inevitability of death, the corrosion of the worlds, the conflict of the world, and now the futility of your own life within a conflictive world that, since your birth, secures your own death, right? That whole thing. And this is all a part of nihilism, is this cycle of life and death, and that everything's meaningless. That is what freaking time, war, immortality represents. But of course, again, there's a greatness to living a complete life, living at the peak of your performance, the peak of your ability, and then ultimately dying, living such a life that your life itself is a statue in honor of your own name, that no one has to build a statue for you. Your own life is a living statue. What you did with your life, the places you went, and the things that you conquered, that is a statue living in of itself. And your own mortality becomes this everlasting greatness to your name. Or infamy, doesn't matter, whatever it is. There's this everlasting significance behind your own death. But what these nihilists, they focus on is the erasure of your importance through method of your own death. I am sick and tired of this. There's no heroic element where you are a man set out on a destiny. You're a man set out on a mission. You care not, let's say, and you give not credence to the nihilistic notions of time. Instead, you view time as opportunity. What are we going to make of the present, of now? What are we going to become of now? What are we going to achieve of now? And then you look at war and you say, who are we going to rival against? And then claim ourselves superior against, to exploit and to also mobilize the greatest usage of our own potential, to make the most of the world, to wrestle our ideals against others' ideals, and to ultimately pave our way forward for the future. And then mortality, that when you do pave that road path for not only your own people and their future, but also what you represent to yourself as a man, what you fought for, what you were willing to stand up for, to go against a rival, that when you die, you have a life that was worth living for, that in death, you're proud of yourself. Because this is the thing, there's an entire heroic angle that you can take, a glorious angle that you can take with time, war, and mortality. It does not have to be nihilistic. It does not have to be hopeless. It can be filled to the brim with opportunity. And it can be that you lived a life. And you know, these freaking, I don't even like this term, but like, let's just flip it on the freaking libtards. They love to sit there. And by the way, conservatards are part of the freaking libtards. No one actually is like traditional or whatever the frick anymore. Everyone's a shade of freaking liberal nowadays. So I don't give a crap what either side thinks it says. It's the same thing. But living your life as a man who's not afraid of what it is that you will sacrifice to have a glorious end and not live as a coward. And when you live as a man fearful of conflict, you live as a coward. And you're not willing to fight for anything. And you're not willing to stand for anything. And you're not willing to stand on a mountain and to conquer any kind of domain, to forever live as a loser, and to never claim your name to anything in your life. And this is where they say, right, you live by the sword, die by the sword. Well, there's a lot of men who find a very thrilling life of living by the sword and then dying by the sword. A life that's filled to the brim with glorious experiences. Not one day did they believe to themselves that they lived their life as a slave. And they die a death, painful as it might be. They still find a beauty that they lived a life where they fought for something. They lived every day for a very specific purpose. They didn't stand by the wayside and allow themselves to be railroaded by others' beliefs, others' convictions. They stood by what they believed in. They went out of their way to make a claim upon this world. And they lived through the thrill of battle and war for whatever virtue or whatever notions of ideals that they were fighting for and believed in. Again, we're talking about heroism here, not some degenerate that's just running around pillaging. But of course, you know, the hero archetype does gain thrill from fighting the pillagers. So they kind of balance each other out. Anyways, doesn't matter. You can have, instead of a nihilistic story, you can have a story about a man that welcomes the inevitability of his own death. And instead of fearing and being in loathing the constant state of these elements of time, war, and mortality, no, he welcomes these things on. He creates opportunity out of these things, and he finds beauty in this cycle of life, in the cycle of civilization, in the cycle of man and man coming into contest of one another. And ultimately, fighting for something that's worthy fighting for. And ultimately, living a life where you do not bore your way, or you do not engage with life as a coward until your death. And that's what these things do. That's what they wish. And this is modern day ethics for you. They believe that you should pursue your life as a freaking coward. And that's a fulfilling life. Freaking sick and tired of these freaking storytelling tropes that we have to force down everyone's throats. Sick and tired of this propaganda that you can't be a man seeking out for a grand battle. That instead of living a freaking boring, dull, uninspired life, that you go out in a blaze of freaking glory. Apparently there's something wrong with that right now. And apparently we have to always have these stories that are servicing down your freaking throat, freaking propaganda. That being the man that lives life to die in a blaze of glory. All right, there's something that's just a life of futility for some reason. Whatever. I'm sick and tired of this, man, because I miss heroic characters, heroic stories, where these are men. They don't care about the weight of the world that they bear on their shoulders. They will fight the world. They don't give a crap. They will go and they will find glee in the freaking chaos of the world around themselves, because they know what they're fighting for, by the way. And so, of course, they're fighting for some kind of virtue, some kind of ideal. And rather than being a coward, by the way, there's no virtue in being a coward. Virtue comes from what you're willing to fight for. If you're willing to fight for nothing, then you will be either oppressed, or you could technically tyrannize off of that position, but whatever. That's not... Okay, anyways. Let's just stick to this point, though, which is that when you're not willing to fight for anything, though, overwhelmingly, you become the oppressed. And there is no virtue to be found in a man that cannot fight for anything and is willing to fight for nothing. And there's something glorious. There's something splendid, especially for the life of a man, that you fight for something that you're willing to die for. Something so grand, so great, that you welcome the day of your death because you are living a life that every day is worth living for, that you do not fear the day you die. And that is a sort of heroism that we don't get anymore. A man that does not fear the futility of his own life. Let's say that whole notion, that whole idea. You used to have these characters. You used to have these men. I mean, let's just face it. A character like Batman, right? He lives every day without the fear of death, because he is every day, he is embracing death head on. And he's fighting the world, specifically these mega mind criminals and also petty thugs. He's fighting them day in and day out. He's at war with these criminals, and he cares not for time except for the present of now. What am I doing today? Who am I stopping today? And I fear not the day I die, because I am living a life that the glory of my actions, that if I were to die today or tomorrow, does not matter which day it is I die, I am living a purpose out that is far more grand than my own very existence. And that is the very sense of heroism that we have entirely lost today. We now fear the idea of death because no one's fighting for anything. We now fear the idea of time. We fear the idea of war. We're fearful of everything. We're cowards. We wish not to go to war. We fear time because we cannot possess value across time, and we live in a constant state of infancy. The idea behind a hero, he is born as what he is. He possesses value as time goes. And he fights and he fights and he fights in the ever-living state of pursuing glory. And he welcomes the day of his death. He finds glory and glee in his own death because it represents that he spent not a day wasted. That when his inevitability comes, he achieves something great. That kind of a heroic character, which is, by the way, a spiritual character. And it shows itself in many different ways. For instance, Odysseus does show itself in that one way, for instance, in its own way. But Frodo Baggins, Luke Skywalker, and even Darth Vader, by the way. But you can see it in many different aspects. Batman, of course. You see it in the redeemed, right? The redemptive hero. Maybe he lost himself, Darth Vader, but then he redeems himself in the end. But you have many masculine characters. They fight every day for something worth fighting for. They don't waste one day being a coward, thinking that being complacent is a virtue. They spend every day of their life meeting head on their own inevitability. They live by the sword. And when that day comes, that they die by the sword. They know that not one breath was wasted, unlike a coward who counts every step and regrets every path that he took and every breath he made alongst the way. The cowardly man that has not a life worthy of living for, because he sacrificed not one part of himself for the life that he lived, so that when he does die, he doesn't even have a singular conceptual statue that can be built in his name, in his own image. And with that, time will not remember him. And then with that, his time meant nothing. I'm sick and tired of the nihilistic approach on time, war, and mortality. And this covers a lot of Japanese products, games, stories, whatever, where there is no greatness or glory out of those three things. And all of them are inevitable. So either you choose to be a coward and you make it up in your own mind, even though you fear the day that you have to embrace the fact that you were a coward all throughout your life. But you have it within these stories. They are not willing to accept to themselves, right? The slow march of time, the opportunity, but also the regression of time. And if you make nothing of yourself, and if you fool yourself thinking that being a coward makes you become of anything that's even worth living for or persisting for, they fear the idea of time, the inevitability of time, that time passes. And as cowards, the little opportunity they will make out of time. But then also, on the flip side of this, you have war. The inevitability of what? Conflict. That you will have someone that opposes you, and you will have to butt heads with those who oppose you, and you will have to see who stands tall above the other, who deserves to win. And if you are truly more virtuous, then you will have to fight to win. They are cowards, and they find virtue within being a coward, within fearing conflict and fighting for nothing. They fear never becoming of anything through the slow crawl of time, and the fact that through being a coward you make nothing of yourself, so you're always in regression. But also they fear the concept of ever fighting for anything, that when another opposes you, you do nothing but be a doormat. They fear conflict, the inevitability of conflict itself as well. And then mortality, to fear your own death. Rather than living a life that's worthy of death, you live a life fearful of that one day where you have to come face to face with your own futility or your own meaninglessness, whatever it is. I'm sick and tired of this propaganda. I'm sick and tired of this trope. I'm sick and tired that we don't have proper masculine storytelling any longer, that we don't have proper Anglo-Saxon ideals behind our stories, spiritual ideals, where you are living a life. You care not for where your life was or where it's going. You care for what is now. What am I achieving today? What am I doing today? Frodo Baggins is different, but you can have, of course, a character that's fighting every day, like Batman, killing criminals or apprehending criminals, whatever it is, or whoever the bad guy is, doesn't matter. But you're fighting every day against your enemy, your sole enemy, so that you can have victory, either in microcosms or the macrocosm, right? Daily victories or yearly totality victories, whatever it is, to besiege Rome and take it over, or to win little battles to secure your own peace for your nation, whatever it is. But Frodo Baggins, every day he's fighting the dread of the ring. But every day he's living within the present. I must deliver this ring to Mordor. And he lives within that present. He cares not for time. And again, he's a different form of the heroic character, but he is a form of it. He is an expression of it, a variation. And again, I miss heroic characters who care not for time. They live within the present. They are not fearful of conflict. They bring on the inevitability of war, and they fight for something noble. They fight for something worthy of dying for, so that then when that day does come, that they die. They knew that at least they were resisting what is worth having resistance against. And right now, in our modern stories, this is happening right now in the West in its own way. But of course, we're seeing the most of it, this futility, this nihilism, coming from Asian storytelling, where everything is meaningless, where there's nothing worthy fighting for, where you come into the world to exist and then eventually fall away and die. That's their entire perspective, and I'm sick and tired of this.
These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands. Okay, interesting. I'm actually going to go back on that. Of course, it's a female, by the way, protagonist. But again, let me be very clear, man. I miss the heroic ideal behind storytelling. We have lost it. It's completely gone now. And let's just face it for 2 seconds here as well. No one's willing to accept it. No one's willing to see it for what it is. And right now, the propaganda is so strong. Everyone sees, for instance, by the way, the heroic character. And we all love that heroic character, the icon of the hero. And that is the man who is the spiritualist that finds glory and glee in striving against time, war, and mortality. And of course, with these modern stories, it is the inverse. You fear it, and you loathe it because of your fear. And your fear only maximizes and grows and builds as time goes. Right? And that is the entirety of what the archetype of the coward possesses, is that fear. I miss this heroic character, and we all do. That's the truth. But propaganda speaks greater than it does, especially within the minds of most people. It speaks greater than the reality of what they really want and what they really need, which is what? A heroic character. The heroic archetype. The man who does something about time, does something about war, does something about mortality, and lives such a life that makes it all worth it in the end.
War. Mortality.
Yo, holy crap. Yo, that chick has...
War.
Those are huge boobs. What's up, girl?
Mortality. These essences shall not fall into your
Let me just tell you something right now. Again, time. They're choosing to show a guy that's being eaten alive.
time.
This right here, time, could be something that's growing instead. Could be the birth of a child. Could be let's say the Christendom of a new kingdom, right? Let's say a kingdom went to war against another kingdom, and they're paving way for a new future. They're giving a decree. There's so many things that can come with time. There's so many things that fall away and that come into being that can be good. But here we are, we're focusing on the bad, and then here we go. War, okay. Again, could be you fighting against a deserved foe. Someone that is truly evil against your own notions, or whatever it is, just having victory against your foe. Just simple as that. How many stories used to be and used to follow the idea that war is this glorious opportunity to claim victory against your foes, against the villains. Because nowadays, by the way, right, and this is a part of the modern day propaganda that we're sold, that you have no enemies, that there is no such thing as a villain anymore, and that every villain, right, should be reformed, like in Spider-Man, No Way From Home, or whatever the frick that movie was, don't care. Right, this idea, this far-fetched notion nowadays that we have, where we don't have actual enemies. So there's no one that is worthy of you going to war against. No. Let me tell you, there are real enemies. It is absolutely worth fighting someone for what you believe in and resisting their will that they wish to impose upon you. No, there's absolutely reason for war. And by the way, this chick is freaking hot. But there's absolutely every reason, and there's a lot of good that can come from war, and we don't want to accept that. And we don't want to accept that some of the greatest heroic characters, who are men, by the way, not women, that they come from embracing the inevitability, but also the burden of war, and also the glory of winning in war. We're not willing to accept that any longer today. Mortality, right here.
War. Mortality.
Again, you could be honoring the dead right here instead of just seeing a bunch of decayed earth. There could be a bunch of graves of men that you aspired to be, that you honor, right? A bunch of brothers in arms. They all died for a grand notion, and they all died for that grand ideal. And you continue on as a man that survived the battle, and you're honoring their death. Mortality can have a great element to it, that you live to respect the death of honorable men. Men who didn't live as cowards. Men who died for a reason rather than no reason at all. That they, instead of dying and loathing their death like a coward, they died in the heat, the glory, and the pain of death in war. But ultimately, they live in that glory. They live in the honor, the ideal of actually having fought for something and believing in that thing and feeling the thrill of battle. Because, of course, by the way, there is a thrill to war. There is a thrill to battle. It's a dual-sided coin. Just like how being a coward is a dual-sided coin, where you live in complacency, where you fool yourself that you're virtuous because you avoid these things. You tell yourself that you're avoiding them, but you're putting it off, and you fight for nothing. And you are living and aspiring towards the day that you have to embrace and confront the idea of what it is that you so painfully loathe and fear deep down within your psyche. Again, there's two sides of this coin, and you're choosing to look at it from a nihilistic lens here. But there can be a greatness behind mortality. Men being remembered, families, let's say, being honored or elevated because of these men's deaths. But again, instead of going the heroic route with these concepts, we're going the most painfully nihilistic route, defeatist route with these concepts. Again, you can have a man die, and he's inspiring his son, or he's inspiring other men's sons to be something more. For as long as they're given life, they achieve every living ounce of who they are, every living breath they wield every day. Those boys, let's say, this is instead, this scene, it's a row, right? Brothers in arms, they're gravestones. And you have a freaking row of boys, and also, let's say, the men who survived the battle, the war that they're having. And they're looking at these graves, purveying before themselves the reality of what these men fought for, who they were, and what they achieved. In a land's home for those boys watching, the aspiration, what am I going to do now? Not what am I doing tomorrow? What am I doing right now? These guys are dead. They made as much use of themselves until their last breath. What am I doing now? Before my fateful day, what am I doing? But instead, here we are. We're just showing something that is completely nihilistic. It's devoid of any spirituality. There's no glory. There's no greatness here. It's just, you're just looking at a mist and a fog sweeping over this dead and decayed land. And clearly the sun is barely of any life. It's kind of hollowed out. It's not very bright. It's kind of this dreary glaze across the surface. But again, what man would you rather be? And instead, we're sitting here and we're servicing this idea that only bad can come from mortality rather than opportunity, right? Opportunity for those who see your own death, but also yourself. What happens after your own death? What do you fight for? And what celestial significance did that have? But here we are.
These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
Of course it's a woman. Of course it's a woman. Of course it's a woman, bro. Of course it always has to be a woman having a freaking man's journey, by the way.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above.
This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Or is that a dude?
Remember.
Or is a woman and a dude?
What happens, we did not betray this world.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't like it, bro. I'm not interested by whatever this game is. Again, I want a heroic story where a man does not fear. He doesn't fear his own death, right? I mean, that's what God of War used to be, let's just face it, right? Kratos, he lived every day to go to war against the gods. He had an oath of vengeance against them. And he pulverized every single one of them. And he stopped at nothing. And he didn't fear the day he would die because he was living every day for a purpose that was worthy enough. Doesn't matter which day he dies. Every day is complete for him. Because he's pursuing this endless pursuit.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse.
but I was a fool. There is no hope here. And the gods that walk among us thirst for death.
Outsider! Your head is mine!
The poison in my veins begs me to kill.
I'll put you in the ground!
Well, this is one game, right? For one, I did forget to mention this as I'm watching this here. Of course, I haven't been saying anything. I don't really think much. It's a VR game. I don't really think much of VR games, but it is a white male lead, and he's not being a pansy. He's willing to fight for something, whatever the frick it is.
The power of our god is immeasurable!
Why? But I'm just gonna say, bro, because this keeps happening. Why can't we have a heroic story where a man's going to war and he's in a beautiful world? Why does it always have to look dreary? Why can't he be surrounded by beauty and he's going on this grand journey to fight for something, whatever it is, something heroic, okay, to overcome some kind of impossible odds? You have some element of that. It's just that there's no beauty, like for instance, in this world. And I'm just noticing it time and time again in modern products. There's nothing beautiful. And I mean it. And if it ever is beautiful, we don't have a... Okay, what I'm saying is I want a heroic story surrounded by beauty. And we don't have that. Why not? We used to get that. And I will say Dracula is a part of that. The Odyssey is a part of that. Lord of the Rings is a part of it. Star Wars, we used to get this. Man, even in some weird way at times, Batman, not entirely, but there's a weird, dreary beauty to Gotham. It doesn't feel nihilistic. But here we are with this.
Thought I could be a hero. But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands. Only monsters do.
Again, no, bro. Again, this is not... I don't care much for this, but I'm just saying, like, even a game like this, and this is not a heroic theme to the characters and story. Listen, man, we just don't have spiritual stories anymore. We just don't. Think of a character. Because as I've been speaking about all this, and as I've been speaking about the concepts of time, war, and mortality from a spiritualist lens, think back to the Bible. And I'm just going, and that's what we're really looking for. When you think of a proper heroic story and character, male protagonist, you're thinking of a biblical character, a biblical archetype. Think of a character like Samson. He lives for the present. He lives for, what am I concerned with for today? Which is, of course, Delilah and also God giving him his gift of strength and all that. But, you have many other men within the Bible, similar notions around them where they live in the present, right? David versus Goliath. David is concerned about living in the present of now. I have to fight Goliath. And they're willing to go to war. Samson goes to war, right, with really his desire for Delilah. And he fears not the day of his mortality, which is ultimately, right, the temple, falling in upon himself. But the same thing goes for so many men in the Bible where they live for the now, right? Abraham, for instance, is living in the now, concerned with making sacrifices to God to show his loyalty to even the extreme of willing to sacrifice his own son. And he's at conflict with sin. Of course, David, he's at conflict with armies, and of course, Goliath and all this stuff. But all of these men, they fear not and they loathe not time. They live in the present of what they're focused on now and what conflict are they seeking out to overcome as of now. And in the end, their mortality serves a lesson, or it glistens the essence of their legacy. What did these men fight for? What was the purpose of their life? What was their legacy? What are their children? What are their sons bound to do? What are they prepared for? Etc. etc. What essence of their life is created to pursue the essence of God? We don't have biblical characters any longer. This is nihilistic. This is again another nihilistic product. I'm getting so sick and tired of this, bro. I'm so sick and tired of nihilism. Aliens, by the way, is basically it's nihilistic as well. I hate the horror genre. It's because it's inherently nihilistic. But whatever. Okay, that might be scary and cool. Maybe, I don't know. Let me tell you, what are some examples, the most modern examples of heroic storytelling, though? Well, Final Fantasy VII, that is a heroic story. You have time, you have war, and you have mortality. That's a part of that story. But it's heroic. The characters are pursuing towards largely kind of spiritualistic lens of their pursuits and aims, because there is an essence of God in the world of Final Fantasy, 7 specifically, but in general, not really, but a good portion of Final Fantasy games are spiritualistic. But anyways, okay, Final Fantasy VII, that is a heroic story, as I described, where Cloud is willing to go to war against, Nibelheim and all these other groups, blah, blah, blah. He lives in the present of now. He's pursuing after his purpose, and he fears not the day of his death. He's living a life that is worthy of his death, right? Or he's living a life where he has a worthy death to remember. Another way of saying it. But let me also say, these are other modern examples: Witcher 3, Final Fantasy 15, and Metal Gear Solid 5. Some of them more than others, but each of these have an aspirational male character or characters, and they're pursuing after their intentions and their purposes, regardless of their burdens or the threat of the world surrounding themselves.
Hi, everyone.
It's oh, love of God, this chick is effing ugly. I don't even know if it's a woman, actually. Oh no. Oh dear. That does not look like a woman's eyebrows or hairline. Does this chick have an Adam's apple and a widow's peak? Just a question.
I'm Sean Benson. I'm back.
Oh, frick. Okay, bro. Okay. Yep, this is what has happened to
Hi,
the
everyone.
gaming
I'm
industry,
Sean
bro.
Benson. I'm back on State of Play to introduce more exciting titles coming to PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter playable soon on PS5.
I hate being here. Okay, let's just get through this. Oh my, I hate being here though. I loathe this.
All realities converge here. Destiny awaits. Stronger together.
Oh, it's basically Overwatch.
Who needs a power-up? Free fire zone.
Embrace the chaos.
Insignificant mass. Healing power.
It kind of reminds me of Battleborn a little bit. Not too much, but a tad bit.
I'm back, baby. 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Whose ability? Isn't that Reaper's ability?
Gonna get sticky.
What the? What ability is that?
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
The women are kind of attractive.
Okay.
What the frick? What? Is that Star-Lord? Who is that? Star-Lord? Bro, it's kind of like Asians are going through like a renaissance right now. They're like, hey, Asian this, Asian that. Hey, we've got mythological Asian this, Asian that. Like, I guess white men are just not allowed to have anything anymore, but Asians, I guess they're guaranteed because they're part of the DEI. I guess they're just allowed to have their stories. It's so weird, but they're pretty much kind of getting everything they want. I would say kind of. I mean, right? Their manga right now is popping. Apparently, their manga seems to be working out for themselves. I think. I don't know about film, how well they're doing on film, but they're getting a lot of games right now, covering their mythology and all that, their themes, cultural notions, ideals. Iconography as well. It looks cool. Okay, anime moment. Cool. I guess. Okay, can we get white guy stuff though? That's not like everyone else is allowed to have stuff. Can white dudes have stuff again, please? Please?
Hello, friends and fans. I'm super excited to welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway.
Oh,
nice one.
You can't hide from me, Michael.
Oh, you're going down. Oh.
Is this Until Dawn? I think it is.
So much to me that we're all still here together.
Fight the break of dawn.
Yeah, it is, right?
I feel like someone's watching us.
There's no one out there. Let's make this one trip we will never forget.
Man, this is such an old game now, man.
Mike, Emily?
Honestly, their best game was this one. The tension was spot freaking on. The direction was good, but the delivery. The issue with a lot of supermassive games is that they have a good setup and they have a good start to an idea. They're good at building tension on a premise, on a concept. But then, the deeper you go into the game, they are terrible at executing all that tension, really getting that full crescendo that you're looking for, the climax. They terribly deliver it, and their games have only been getting worse. Their casting decisions have been getting worse. I like how then in this game, though, they tried at many different times to sexualize this chick is supposed to be the hot chick. She's not really that hot, but right, the air quotes hot chick. I miss that games were made in this way, though, where we're trying to give a little bit of eye candy to the male gamers, or the male gays, really, just say that. Of course, you never see this chick actually naked. I wish we did, let's be honest. I wish we saw more women in games that are sexualized. Well, for one, more women need to be sexualized in games. And then for two, we need to see more of them naked. What the frick?
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
I don't remember a lot of these scenes from the game, though.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed.
Oh, bro, yeah. And this was a lot darker than a lot of stuff nowadays. I mean, a lot of this stuff now is like, oh my gosh, problematic. I can't stand it, bro. But we just can't have anything that's problematic, right? Air quotes on problematic. We can't have things that are raw and gritty anymore. This game had a bunch of tension in it. Wait, is this a sequel? Maybe.
Put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
Oh, no.
You can't let me.
Dude, look at this, man. Oh my, it was so dark. Like, there were so many gritty elements, and you don't get this kind of stuff anymore. It is so sanitized, everything they've made ever since Until Dawn. A re-release? Okay. Alright. Why am I here? Why am I here? I regret everything. Path of Exile's getting a sequel. I hated that game just because of the inventory system.
Ogham was once a peaceful land, but each day descends further into madness.
Female blacksmith, right?
Plague besiege us. The very earth is being poisoned. The Count's men,
of course, it's a black guy. Look, this is clearly a Nordic setting. The guy's clearly wearing Nordic themed stuff. And of course, he's black. Of course. Bro, at this point, I knew it was going to turn out like... we were seeing the back of the guy, and I'm like, it's going to be black. It's black.
And now, they come for me.
Okay, good animations. Wow. Wow, these guys are really competing against... Wow, they're really competing with Diablo 4. I thought Diablo 4 did a good job, but this is actually pretty, it looks really good. Maybe even better than Diablo 4. Maybe. It's looking pretty good.
I must be the one to face this nightmare.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself!
But I need not do it alone.
Couch co-op, okay. It looks cool. It actually looks good. Good enemy designs. I think I liked Path of Exile more than Diablo. Yes, I do. I like it more than Diablo. Way too grindy though. It is a huge time waster. And listen, bro, it's not worth it burning away your time. It's not. It's just not. Find other things to do. There's a bunch of things you can do with your time. Way more productive. It's just not worth it. But I do like a lot of their gameplay progression systems. I like all the different things that you can work towards, right? The heists in Path of Exile, the underground mine. There's a bunch of things that you can do, and I love all the many different ways you can upgrade your character. The only thing that screws over Path of Exile is the inventory system, and I hate it. I don't want to have to be a freaking whale for your game. What, like a, what is it called? Like a credit card shark or whatever? I don't want to spend a bunch of money, like, I mean hundreds of dollars, so that I can store all of my loot, so that I can also have different gear sets. And by the way, the game takes way too long to grind in. I want to be able to experience all your different builds for these different characters, and I have to grind for hours with, no. Jeez Louise, man, the game takes long enough to play. Frick. So it looks cool, but I would rather spend $60, which nowadays is 70. Thanks freaking inflation, right? That they vote for, these developers, these freaking leftist activists, they all vote for this trash. But anyway, so screw you. But I would rather spend $60 full price for the game and get full inventory space rather than spending hundreds of dollars so I can keep on eking out freaking inventory space. Another female.
I'm sorry. I was just...
What the
I didn't
frick?
mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away.
Oh.
This town, there's something wrong with it?
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous.
You're
or not.
hideous. What the frick?
I'm going either way.
No, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Silent Hill is definitely scary and definitely freaky.
I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please. No, please.
Alright. Don't care. It's horror, and I hate the horror genre. I hate horror games. I don't like it.
Capcom announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise.
You have actual women.
Today, I am so
let me be very
excited to
clear.
share the
You have
first full
actual
gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter
females in the real world. Then let's add on top of that layer attractive females. What the frick? I'm looking.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up
that
and ready to
face.
go. And then we can get started.
Just cleavage, but that face.
You bet.
Just ew.
I hope we find them soon.
Oh, come on. Do we really have to? It's always with the diversity, bro. I'm so tired of this. Gosh, we just can't have whatever. I look forward to this game, though. I do.
I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before.
I've played a lot
Got big spikes on its back.
of Monster Hunter World and what was the other one? Sunbreak or whatever.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right. The sandstorm.
Oh, so kind of like the idea that maybe you're more prey than predator with some of the monsters.
Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Looks cool. It does. Good monster designs. This is not like freaking Disney monster designs that are absolute trash. Disney does not know how to make monsters, animals, alien race. Oh, that's cool. Okay, okay. You know, this looks like to me a more interactive, like, world that you're playing Monster Hunter through. This looks like innovation based on the first game. Or sorry, not the first game. The previous game is what I meant to say.
I selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
We know this is not gonna have a story, bro. We know. Some generic dude being like, "Hi there, you're here for a mission." And we're like, "Okay, see ya." That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Wait, are there gonna be like... I'm not gonna psych myself up for anything, but if there's counter plays that you can do, like blocking on certain beasts prevents them from chomping down on you, that's cool. And if there's other things that you can do to like have weird but interesting counter-attacking mechanics, that's really cool. That'd be really awesome. What is this? Isn't that the PlayStation robot from PlayStation 4? Yeah, pretty much. Or is this PlayStation 3? I forget. Is he called Technobot? It's a decent song. It looks cool. It looks cool. It looks like a good platformer. I like it. Looks good. Looks like it might be fun. I don't play games like these anymore. I'm not really interested, but it looks good. It does. Jeez, how big is this game, bro? Okay, I get it. So they kind of reference a lot of... media. Oh, Astrobot. Okay. It looks cool. It actually looks cool. That looks like a good platformer. It looks good.
Be sure to visit PlayStation
Please
blog
make it
for
stop.
more on the games you just saw.
Just make it stop.
PlayStation.com for the latest
Just
on
make it
Days of
stop.
This global
Love of
celebration
God.
runs
What
through
do we
June
do?
12th,
What are we
with deals on
doing, man?
PlayStation Store,
Why
great
is
content
every
coming to
company
PlayStation
woke?
Plus, and
Why is
much more.
every company woke? Why? Every single why? 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 And why are you embracing mental illness? Huge question. Answer me. Is that it? That's it. Okay, guys. Well, listen, that was it. What am I sick and tired of? What am I sorely missing nowadays? I miss grand, heroic stories about white people, for instance, specifically. I miss white people's stories. I miss white men doing great things in a grand, mystical, heroic tale. And he kills the bad guys. He doesn't sit there and postulate the freaking propaganda where you don't kill bad dudes or your villain, whoever the enemy evil guy is, okay? No, he's willing to fight the world. He kills the villains. He goes home and he bangs his hot wife, okay? I freaking miss great aspirational storytelling. We used to have this. it was implicit, integral to Anglo-Saxon storytelling. It used to be a part of it, but now it's not. It's not there anymore. Well, because there's no white storytelling anymore. Yeah, I don't know, man. Games have way more budget than they've ever had before. And they're so uninspired, overwhelmingly. I mean, Astrobot looked pretty cool, genuinely. It's not a game I necessarily would want to pick up personally, but it's a game that I'm actually glad exists, and I would have picked it up a couple of years back. It's just not a game I'm willing to put time into anymore. But Monster Hunter, that's a cool game. I'm looking forward to that. So that's pretty cool. But, you know, man, we don't have great storytelling anymore. Storytelling's dead. And recently I've been playing through Jedi Survivor, right? And it's so clear, tons of budget went into that game. There's tons of content in that game. Now, what's the issue? Well, there's no story. The story sucks. Lame people, mundane people make up the characters. I hate the characters. I hate the story. It's freaking woke and feminist, specifically feminist. It sucks. And you have great writers, great storytellers from 10, 15 years, 20 years back for LucasArts. They would have killed to have the budget that games have today. And they never had that budget. They don't have the beauty of modern games, the polish of modern games, but they had the talent to make a product that you actually wanted to invest your time into, but you wanted to get lost into their worlds. You don't want to get lost into these worlds. What the frick is this? I'm not captured by immense creativity, imagination, none of it. We're just seeing people doing industry standard. That's what we're seeing. And we're seeing games that are absolutely gorgeous to look at. And that's just because what, right? The graphics are good because the technology has gotten that far by this point in time. But are absolutely talented people working on these projects? No. Are all the talented people now pushed out of these industries? Yes. And I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm not interested. I'm sick and tired of bad products, woke products, multiracial products. Everything has to be, oh look, black people. Oh look, spot the white guy. Where's white guy? You know, we never thought that Where's Waldo was going to be a real thing. Where the frick is a white guy? Don't know. Can't find him, bro. Where's white guy? Don't know. Where's white man lead? Don't know. Where's a genuinely, authentically traditional woman that isn't a freaking raging feminist? Don't know. I mean, Stellar Blade, no. I mean, it's not really a traditional female character, but at least she's effeminate. I mean, her fighting freaking monsters and demons, that's kind of ridiculous, but at least it's an attractive female who's effeminate, right? At least there's that. And she's sexy too. I love that too. So at least that's one thing that we've gotten. Final Fantasy VII does not count because it's a remake. But at least Tifa, you know, she's not really a traditional female necessarily, but at least, I mean, she's effeminate. At least there's that. Same with Aerith. She's effeminate, so at least there's that. But that's all we have right now. So I don't know, man. I'm just, everything that I loved about storytelling not that long ago, but it's all dead now. Lord of the Rings is dead. Star Wars is dead. Games like Witcher 3, Final Fantasy 15, Metal Gear Solid 5, these are all dead. We don't have them anymore. Men just don't have products anymore that they can look at. And I look at all this and I'm just tired. I'm tired of what gaming is. The video is going to come out soon, but I made a video about how, bro, I'm done with gaming. I've given up on gaming. I'm quitting gaming. Now, of course, like, I'm still playing games and doing them for the channel, but I'm going to be honest, bro. Me as a customer, I'm done. I'm done. I've given up. Listen, who the frick is fighting against the fascists? Who? They pushed everyone out of these industries and no one cares. No one's fighting for anything. They pushed everybody out and now they have complete domination of the industry. There's no such thing as anyone else having, listen, there's no such thing as conservatives or dudes who are not leftists, okay? Libtards, liberals, whatever. They have no place in these industries. These industries have completely pushed out all the talent that made me fall in love with gaming. It is rare to have sexy women in games now. Everything's lame and gay. Everything's woke. And the people who have control over these industries, they're massively woke. There is no victory to be had in any of this. Until there's absolute freedom of speech, for instance, freedom of speech is dead now. If you said what you really wanted, right, you would be silenced. I'm tired of it all, man. And I just don't know. We don't have products anymore made for men. We don't have products anymore that are grand and great. I'm talking, I'm the crazy one nowadays, for sitting there and saying that I want heroic storytelling. I want grand narratives following men who are not cucks to time. They don't fear war, and they don't fear mortality. A story like, I remember, the movie of The Gladiator. Freaking love that film. The first time I watched it, it was actually recent. I watched it when I was younger, but I forget it now. But I rewatched it recently. It was practically new for me. I watched it when I was 7 or something. But I rewatched it recently and it felt like the first time. And I saw it, came on the television. And by the way, I don't really look at television or movies, but it just happened to be playing in the vicinity that I happened to be at that time. It was just playing. And I was like, everything's just lame, old, and boring. That's on television now, or not television, but movies, if movies are just playing, whatever. And it was just playing on screen, and I was captured by the story immediately. I literally thought in the back of my mind just watching it, I was like, oh, this is just some woke trash, or what, is this some washed up old movie? And bro, Joaquin Phoenix, his freaking performance in the film, great. I forget the dude's name. It's, oh shoot, man, he played a lot of roles a couple of years back. I'm forgetting the actor's name, but it's such a good film. And great psychological depth to the characters. Very simply expressed in the film, but it was great. It was good. And the story captured me, and it was a heroic story. Not a freaking biatch boy story. Oh, we're slaves. Oh, we're in a gladiator arena. Oh, look, female girl boss who's also in the gladiator arena. No, it was an authentic male in a situation where he had to overcome. And he did not loathe it. He took it onto his shoulders. He feared not time. He feared not death. And he feared not war. You don't get that anymore. I'm the crazy one nowadays for just sitting there and saying, I want a genuine masculine story where the guy does not fear time. He does not fear death. He does not fear war. Instead, he finds glory in it. He finds elation, thrill out of it. He doesn't loathe the pain of death. No, he welcomes it. He cackles. He says, are you not entertained? As he embraces his reality, he doesn't live as a coward, and he fights for something worth fighting for. His own freedom, or some kind of ideal, some kind of ethics that's worthy of dying for, fighting for. Well, nowadays we don't get that. Nowadays, our storytelling, it doesn't say these things. It doesn't have these principles because men are no longer the audience. Men are no longer the customer, and men no longer are the creator. So you don't get grand storytelling anymore. You don't get grand narratives based upon heroicism, which is premised within masculinity. You do not have heroicism without masculinity. Nowadays, you need to be a cuck. Nowadays, you can't be heroic. Nowadays, you have to be tolerant of everyone and everything. And nowadays, you shouldn't fight for anything. You should be tolerant of everything. Accommodate everyone. You can't fight for anything. And you can't stand for nationality, patriotism. There's something wrong with standing for something of singularity. You have to stand for everything. You have to sacrifice all of your own ethics, your own ideals, your own notions. You have to become a fighter for your own cuckoldry. You can't fight for your ancestry. You can't fight for anything. Dear God, man, you can't even fight for your own religion at this point. And our stories, they represent this. The morons who went through, these ideological warriors that went through universities, yeah, they've taken over everything now. The activists, they control your reality. They control your products. They control what do you perceive as a hero now. Well, the hero doesn't kill. There's no good and there's no evil anymore. And there's no hero. There's absolutely no hero. The hero's dead. We live in a culture of absolute Satanism, as well as satanic symbolism, ideals, notions, beliefs. There is no God anymore, and there is no aspiring ideal. It's all gone, it's all dead. The activists have complete control. If you were to fight against the activists, They have complete control. They will always win. This is tyranny of the weak. And now our products are lame, lazy, uninspired, rehashed, rewashed nonsense. Remakes everywhere. You don't get genuine products anymore. You don't get genuine masculine stories anymore. And you don't get proper heroic storytelling any longer. So what's left, man? Sincerely, what is left? Listen, it used to be that the worthy were involved in show business. The worthy were the actors. The worthy were the directors. The worthy were the writers. Because their merit showed. Their talent showed. In gaming, it showed. Jokes were funnier 10, 15 years ago in gaming. Ideas hit home much deeper 10, 15 years now. But nowadays, you're called crazy for saying that you want a heroic character, a man that's willing to kill in name of a virtue, a man that's willing to fight on a great crusade, a man that does not loathe time, he lives in time, a man that lives by the sword and dies by it. He takes glee in the glory of war. He doesn't fear the pain, the tragedy of war. No. He embraces it head on, and he dies a death where he fought for something. He wasn't a coward. He fought and he lived a life where he dies. He lived a life where he dies in glory, and he lived a life where he fought in glory. And maybe he died early in his life, doesn't matter. He didn't die a coward, and he actually fought for something. His life stood for something. His life had a purpose. His life had a meaning. Doesn't matter how long it was. He was heroic. He stood by man, God, and country, his fellow brothers. Nowadays, what is a man? Nowadays, what is a woman? Nowadays, what is country? Nowadays, what is God? Nowadays, in the age of postmodernism, what is anything? Because everything doesn't have meaning anymore. Everything doesn't matter anymore. It's unimportant. Today, all that matters is your deconstruction. What is family? Family doesn't exist anymore. Nobody wants to admit it. But look at what's happening between men and women in modern age. Look at all the freaking nonsense that's going on. People want to act like it doesn't exist, but it does. People talk about there being a reproduction crisis right now with birthing rates. Why do you think that is? Modern women are feminist whores. They don't respect men. They care more about their own self-interest rather than family. They don't care about their husbands. They're antagonistic towards men. Most women are not wives anymore, and they're not mothers. And most men, they're shamed for being warriors, fighters, for possessing masculinity, being a proper father, a proper husband. It's admonished now. You need to be a cuck. You need to be a simp now. What the frick are we doing? Where are we going, man? Now you look at our stories. It's the least of things, the least of these people. Now they're the hero? You're telling me some freaking twat, some Starbucks barista is the freaking hero? Is the freaking high functioning operator, military operator in a movie, in a video game? You're telling me that noteworthy people are the people that we knew for generations to laugh at. The people who are the epitome in modern day of weakness. They're now military operatives. Some scrawny, my hair has to be dyed blue. I have a modern haircut. I'm scrawny as all get out. I don't look like I've experienced a singular hard day in my life, but I'm gonna be the hero, the titular character of a story? What the frick are we doing, man? What the frick are we becoming? We have become so ignorant in modern day products. Worthy men, worthy characters, worthy people. They're no longer the titular feature, the titular notion of a story. Nowadays, the nobodies are the heroes. The nobodies are the characters. The nobodies are the side characters. They're the freaking Navy SEALs equivalents. The Marines are nobodies now. Strong men are nobodies now. We're making lazy, loser, weakling, your words are violence. University students, they're the tough guys of our modern stories. We are being cucked in real time. The ideal of a masculine man, of a hero, of a warrior. It's dead now. Everything is weakness. And now weakness is a virtue.